guys, I am here at the movie theater. Believe it or not, here's the deal. I came in here like last week and I watched a movie called Mission Impossible. You may have heard of it. And it was on an early release. So I actually did watch that movie before a lot of people actually got around to watching it. Well, I made a video for it and never got posted. And let's hope, our fingers are crossed that this one's actually going to get posted because it's the exact same deal. This movie's being released on a Monday or today is a Tuesday, but it was released yesterday. So it's actually a whole week that has been released early. So I'm actually, I don't know what is going on with my movie theater, my local movie theater, but this is the second time they've had this opportunity. And of course, I'm grabbing it. I'm taking this because I desperately wanted to watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. This was a huge hit, guys. You don't understand. I definitely want to see the Barbie movie. And that's probably at the drive-in with Legally Blonde, which is one of my favorite Reese Witherspoon movies, and I'm really tempted to see that. Not only that, but I desperately do want to see the new Indiana Jones movie again, because I kind of want to make my mind up about that again. I have a suspicion I like that movie more than I thought I did in the beginning. And that is actually playing with Haunted Mansion, which I have a morbid curiosity. It's gotten really low scores on the Rotten Tomato, but I have a morbid curiosity to find out what this movie is. It's so bizarre. Like 10 years ago, they put out a movie with a stellar cast. It had Eddie Murphy in it. And if they couldn't sell that movie with Eddie Murphy, what do you think that they can sell this movie again with Rosario Dawson? I do not understand that decision at all. So I'm very curious to see what quality movie they put out for that. But that is a moot point. It's a discussion for a later date. We're not even debating that anymore because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is out and I definitely want to watch that. For the animation alone, the animation looks incredible in this movie. So that's what I'm seeing tonight. Guys, I'm going to be back in just a few seconds to let you know what I think about this new TMNT movie that's coming out. I'm excited. So in just a few seconds, I'll let you know. All right, see you, bye. Well, guys, I just got done watching the movie, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was kind of hoping to like this a little more than I did. It wasn't a bad movie by any shade of the imagination. It was actually a really good movie. I was hoping for a knockout of the park, though, and what I got was kind of a better than average movie. I mean, if you want the score up front, and then I'll explain why I'm giving that score, it's going to be like an 87%. It's like an 85%, but I really thought... Well, there's things that pushed it over. All right, so here's the things that I didn't like about the film. Let's go ahead and start up the plot real quick here. It's basically just telling the origin story of the turtles again without telling the origin story. And that was actually kind of creative. They actually showed the origin of the ooze that turned him into the turtles, and then they did like a time jump 15 years later, so they never actually showed the origin of the turtles while explaining the origin. And I thought that was clever to get around something that had that road that had been well traveled. I thought that was an interesting way around that. So it's basically just them trying to fit into society, and we got this like subplot that's going on in the background where the scientists that created the ooze also created the ooze to create this fly creature, and they called him the Superfly creature, and he's set up as the bad guy in the movie. And it's just basically their trials to get to that end boss scene. That's it. That's really it. There wasn't that much plot to get through. It was just basically them meeting the extended character roster of this movie, specifically April O'Neil, who they race bent and they made a little younger for this story. So she's a high school student. She's a black high school student, maybe even Puerto Rican. I don't know. They never got really into that. But at the same time, to be honest with you, I really never was all that invested in the April character. So if they want to change it, if they wanted to gender bend it, I wouldn't have cared. So as far as that goes, that was fine. So let's go over what I didn't like about the movie, and then I'm going to tell you what kind of pushed that 2 extra points to the 87%. What I didn't like about the film was, first off, when we first started watching the movie and we started learning how the plot was going to be told to us, we were being riddled with just one-liners and just really quick jokes. And I thought they were really funny in the beginning, and then I kind of found the pattern of that cadence of the humor of it, and it kind of almost became predictable, and it almost became kind of boring by the end of the movie. It was just it was a one note. It was a one-note wonder, to be honest with you. It just seemed like they never changed the tone of it. It was always kind of like a jokey, half laugh, half kind of a joke all the way throughout the movie. And I would have liked to seen a little more range in the tone of this movie. The other things I found wrong with this movie, some of the characters kind of got on my nerves. The April character, like I said, I didn't mind them changing it if they had changed it to a likable character, but I didn't find her character all that likable. There were a couple scenes. There was a scene where they were explaining why she failed at being a reporter in her high school. And that was really humorous and really funny, but that's the only real big scene that I really enjoyed her character in. The rest of the characters were pretty okay. I had a hard time with the homogenized humor. I thought that some of the humor actually did land really well, but some of it did not. And it kind of left me, it just felt forced. It felt formulaic, and it felt like they knew exactly where they wanted to go, and they knew that the beats that they wanted to hit, they just didn't exactly succeed in making me laugh at those points. The other thing that I didn't like about this, some of the action sequences here, I know it's an animated film. I know that takes away that element of danger from those action sequences. I understand that, but at the same time, there are other animated films that do action sequences a little better than this one does, to be honest with you. And it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. We should be seeing some really cool, Jackie Chan orchestrated action sequences, and we kind of didn't. And I was kind of let down on that. I would have liked to have seen a little more orchestrated, a little more involved action sequences in this movie. There were a couple of them that actually did work. The surprise was that there was an action sequence initiated by Splinter's character himself, and I thought that was the best out of all of them. And the rest of them were kind of just lukewarm. In fact, this movie was kind of just lukewarm for me as far as most of it goes. There were a couple peaks where it just peaked over that 50%, where it just hey, we're actually a better movie. We actually know what we're doing. We're smart writing. And then it kind of got lazy after a while, and it just kind of pulled itself back. And there were moments of brilliance. I just would have liked to seen a lot more moments of those moments that we didn't get. The thing that I really liked about this movie, and it shouldn't be any surprise because we've all seen the trailers, the animation was absolutely gorgeous in this movie. It kind of reminded me of a Starry Night, like a Van Gogh Starry Night. It was it had those broad strokes, brush strokes to this animation. It had a really interesting look to it. It had a kind of a unfinished look to it, and it looked really, really slick. In fact, if you looked at their eyes, it kind of reminded me of if you ask AI to draw a person, their eyes looked slightly unfinished. But to be honest with you, in the AI art, that really annoys me. In this, it was just the perfect touch for that. I thought the animation was absolutely gorgeous, and if that's the only thing to take away from this movie, I still would have given it a pass because the animation was that good. Fortunately for this movie, it actually did have a competent story, and it actually did make us laugh in some points. Again, I wish it was more, but it actually was enough for me to give it an 85% with that excellent art, I'm going to give it an 87. 87 is the best movie I'm going to give this movie. It was really an enjoyable time. I was just expecting a little more. But that's it, guys. That is my review. I enjoyed it 87%. I'm wondering what other people are going to think about this movie, but that's it, guys. I'm out of here. As always, I wish everybody peace. Montane, I'll talk to you guys later, and goodbye.